Hello everybody, Mr. Montgomery again. Today we're still on Unit 2, but we're on lesson number 5. So at the top of your paper should say lesson 2-5, and we're on page 73. Now if I were to write the number 73, which number is going to be in the tens place? Let's make a little chart real quick. Of course you don't have to write this, just me. Which one is in the tens place, the 7 or the 3? Well, it's going to be the 7, because the tens is always before the ones. We have tens first and then our ones second. Okay, so whenever we have a two-digit number, the first one's always the tens. Just always remember that. I'm going to go through this every day so it gets stuck in your brain. So let's go into today's lesson. If you're not on page 73 yet, make sure you pause the video, find that page, and then hit play. Alright? Now, I feel like today's lesson is going to be kind of easy for you guys. I think you're going to get it really quick, and you're going to think it's actually maybe kind of fun. So, we see that we have a whole bunch of blocks right here, right? We have some green and some yellow. Now, the reason we have these blocks is because one color is a part of an addition sentence. Okay, and so the green is one part, and the yellow right here is one part. So what we're going to do is we are going to create an addition sentence for these two parts. So remember, we have our green and our yellow. So if the green is first in the picture, where do you think we're going to write it? Is it going to be in this first spot or the second spot? I want you to point with your finger on the screen. Did you pick one? Okay, so if the green is first, that means it's going to stay on this first spot. Okay, so the first color C goes on the first spot. That's it. That's all I'm saying. So now let's go ahead and count the green cubes and then write the total on the line. Count the green cubes only and then write it on this first line. Go ahead and do that. Alright, did you do it? Alright, let me see if your number is correct here. I'm going to count 2. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we have 5 green blocks. Now I want you to do the same thing with the yellow and write it in the second spot. Because it's the second color, it goes in the second spot. That's all there is. Go ahead and do that real quick. Alright, did you do it? Okay, you sure you got the right number? Did you count them correctly? Did you double check? Well, let's double check right now. Okay, so for yellow we have 1 and then 2. So right now we just found out that we have 5 green cubes and 2 yellow cubes. Okay, and now we just have to write what our answer is. What is our big total for this problem? Now I want you to go ahead and do that part on your own. Go ahead and solve how many cubes we have all together for this picture. Okay, now did you write an answer down? I sure hope you did. Because we're going to check our work and make sure that we are counting correctly. Alright, so let's go ahead and do it. We have 5 plus 2. If you just know 5 plus 2 and you wrote that answer down, awesome. Maybe you like touch dots like me. I like to make little dots on my numbers. So 5, the number 5 has 5 dots. Okay, that's how touch math works. And the number 2 has 2 dots, right? So of course, if you like using touch dots, maybe you do, maybe you don't. You just count these dots. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I got 7 using touch dots. And of course, if you get really good at touch dots, you no longer have to make the little dots. You just kind of touch the spots where they normally are and you know, do your addition. But maybe touch math is tough. Maybe addition is a little tough, and that's okay. Because we have a whole bunch of things we could use, like this picture. So let's check our answer with this picture real quick. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I counted 7 blocks, and it is the same answer I got down here. Maybe if we're taking like a quiz or something, and you think, you know what, I don't have any cubes. What on earth am I going to do? What am I going to do if I don't have cubes? Well, of course, we have our number lines, right? We, of course, have our number line we can use at any time. And all we do is find the first number, right? 5. You either touch it, or if you're on your paper making a number line with me, you just put a little dot. So the first number tells you where you start, which is 5. The second number tells you how many jumps. We count the jumps. 1, 2, you stop. I landed on 7 again, which is the same number that we got in the first place. Doesn't matter how you do it, as long as you're able to solve these addition problems correctly. I don't care what method you use. Use what works best for you. I say this every single video, and I will keep saying it in every video, okay? But you're probably thinking, why on earth do we have these cubes here? We made our addition sentence, but now we have this whole other set of cubes. What is going on? What is happening? Why are they showing us more yellow and green cubes? Well, I'm going to tell you. Remember up here how we made our green as one group and the yellow was another group? Well, we're doing the same thing down here. Okay? All we did was we flipped them around. Now let's see what kind of addition sentence we would make. If the yellow is first, what number goes on this first line? Go ahead and write it down. Okay, did you write it? Did you count the yellow blocks and write the number? I sure hope you did, and if you did, you should have counted 2 blocks. Now count the green and write the number on the second line. Alright, did you count those green again and write it down? I sure hope you did. If you did, you should have counted 5 green, right? And now if we count them all together, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I'm about to give away the answer. Go ahead and finish counting these and write the answer down on this last line here. Alright, did you finish counting? Do you have a total? Let's see if it's the same as me. I got a total of 7. It's up to 4, then 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we have 7 down here and 7 up here. How are these two number sentences different? How are they different? Well, for starters, what they did was they took the 5 and put it on the other side here. And same thing with the 2. They put it on the other side of the plus sign. So the cool thing that they are showing us right now is that if we have 2 numbers, it doesn't matter which order you put them in. You could say 5 plus 2, or you could say 2 plus 5. You can do this with any set of numbers you like. Okay, and I will give you another quick example in a second. But before that, I have one other super important question. How are these 2 problems alike? How are they alike? Well, we know that they flip-flop the numbers on us, but we have the same numbers. So, the fact that we still have a 2 in both of them, and we have a 5 in both of them, shows that they are very similar, right? But also we have the same answer for each one. So it doesn't matter which order you put the numbers in, you will always get the same answer every time. Now, like I said before, I'll give you guys another quick example. You could do this with 1 plus 2. What is 1 plus 2? Well, I'm going to make a little touch dots real quick. So we have 1, 2, 3. So 1 plus 2 is 3. And now, check this out. We can flip-flop the numbers. If it helps you to make the arrows, that's fine. We put the 2 first and the 1 second. Right? I'll make my little touch dots again. And let's see if we get the same answer. 1, 2, 3. Either way, we got an answer of 3. It does not matter which way you want to add the numbers. So what we're really going to be focusing on today is taking a addition sentence like 1 plus 2, and we're going to flip-flop these numbers around and make a brand new addition sentence using the same numbers. All right? If you think this sounds super easy, well, you're about to have a lot of fun with math today. All right? So let's go ahead and turn to page 74, and let's practice some of these kinds of flip-floppy problems. All right, here is page 74. We have this little girl showing us how you can flip-flop numbers. And look, they're using arrows just like we did. So they're thinking the same way we are. So for this page, if you have some crayons you would like to use, feel free to go get your crayons. If you don't have the same colors, don't worry about it. Just use 2 colors, and then that's it, like red and blue, because that's all I'm going to be using, and I'll show you exactly how we can do that. Okay, so if you don't have, a whole crayon box, don't worry about it. You can just use red and blue and be perfectly fine. Don't stress about it. So let's go ahead and go through number 1 together. Okay, now for this blue side, I will use blue. Okay, just going to make a little smudge so I don't forget, and you don't forget either. And then orange, I'm going to just use red for that for down here, okay? So what they're showing us is first we have this one part here in blue. And we have 1, 2, 3 blue cubes, okay? And then we have our orange cubes, which is our other part. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4 orange. So that's where they got these numbers from. There's 3 blue and 4 orange. Now we can count these all together and find out the total, find out the answer, what 3 plus 4 is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so 3 plus 4 is 7. Now what I want you to do is to color in these cubes down here in the flip-flopped way. So if they put blue first up here, it's going to be second down here. And what I'm going to do for you guys is I'm going to underline. Okay, so you get used to that. So there's those 3 blue, right? You can go ahead and color in those 3 blue at the end. And for the red, I'll underline those 2. Red starts at the beginning, and it goes in 4. So there are your 4 red you should color. I'm going to go ahead and color these in with you. They don't have to be perfect. You can just do like some very, very light scribbling. Just don't go too crazy, okay, guys? Don't go too crazy with this. Gonna be a little artist for a second, like we'll be little Bob Rosses. If you don't know who Bob Ross is, he is a painter. He was very popular on TV for a while. And you can even just make colored dots in the cubes if you want. That's fine also. So now that we have our colors flip-flopped, how would we write our addition sentence? What number would go first? Well, it would be the red. So go ahead and count the red and write that first. And then what color would, or what number would be second? All you have to do is count those blue and write them on the second space. And then lastly, just count them all and then write the answer on the line here. So I'll give you guys a second to write all that down, then we'll go through it together. Alright, now if you're still writing, make sure you pause the video, and then when you're ready, hit play. Let's go through this together real quick to make sure that you wrote down the correct numbers and did this properly. So first we have our red, because it's the first color here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 red. So 4 goes on the first line. And then for our second color, blue, we have 1, 2, 3. So we write a 3 on the second line. See how we just took the numbers and flip-flopped them? That's all we did. That's all we're doing. And then, since these two parts stayed the same, the answer must be the same. It cannot be anything different. Because no matter what, if you count all these blocks, you'll still get 7 down here and 7 up here. Okay? So we're not doing anything crazy. I'm not trying to trick you guys. So let's do this, do number 2 in parts. Okay, we're just going to do this in parts. I'm going to make a little squiggle line. So we're going to do the top first, and then we'll go through it together. Then we'll do the bottom. Okay? So what I want you to do is take your parts and make your addition sentence. Go ahead and make your addition sentence and solve using the color cubes you see in the picture. Okay, now if you're still working, make sure you pause the video. I want to make sure everyone is trying to do these on their own first. It is super, super important. All right, so first, I will count the purple ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we write 4 on that first line. Our second color is green, so we just count our green next. 1. So I write a 1 on the second line. And then just count all the cubes together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 5 is my answer. What I would like you to do for the second part of this problem is you're going to switch the colors around, right? So if purple is first here, it has to be second down here. And I'll help you guys out just a little bit with underlining. Remember, you don't have to have the same colors they do. If you don't have purple and green, don't worry about it. Just use red and blue, like I am. Okay? So first you're going to color in these cubes the correct way. We got to flip-flop them around. And then create the other addition sentence we could write to solve these addition sentences for these cubes. What's the other way we could write the addition sentence? And just in case you forgot, just look at the problem next to it that we already did. It can help you. So I'll give you guys a quick minute to color in your cubes and write the addition sentence in the other way we could write it. All right? All right, did you give it a shot? Okay, if you're still working, pause the video, okay? Until you're ready. Just hit that space bar if you need to. Let's start with our coloring. Okay, let's be Bob Ross for a second. So there was 1 green up here, right? So I'm just gonna color that in. That's our 1. And then we had 4 that were a different color. Well, I'm going to do that too. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. So now which color's first? It's, well, for down here it's red. Up here it was green. I underlined in red, right? So we have our 1. So our first number to write is 1. Ooh, that was not a pretty 1. There we go. And next, we count our other color to see what the other part is. 1, 2, 3, 4. We had 4 of a different color. And of course, you can count them all to check your answer, see what the total is, but it should be 5. If we got 5 up here, you should get the same answer down here because we are not changing the parts. As long as these parts stay the same, as long as you're just using a 1 and a 4 in any order, the answer absolutely must be 5. Okay, let's do one more on page 75. I'm going to have you guys try this one completely on your own, and then we'll go over it. But for now, let's go to page 75, see what this looks like. Page 75 looks like. Okay. So you'll notice that the only real difference is that we don't have a picture this time. But of course you can use stuff like touch dots on the numbers. I'll make little dots there. You can also use the number line or any method you'd like. All right. So first thing we're going to do is solve what is 2 plus 3. And of course, if you should have a number line with you if you're in my classroom. If not, of course, I'm sure your teacher will give you one. All right, I'm just going to throw a number line in here really quick. Okay, so first thing we have to do is solve 2 plus 3. So go ahead and solve 2 plus 3. And that is our first part. Okay, so if we use our number line here to solve 2 plus 3, going to just start at the 2 because that's our first number, and then 3 jumps, right? 1, 2, 3. And you land on 5. Also, if you use the touch dots, you'll get the same answer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I know they were a little tough to see. It was kind of tough to make those for you. Okay, so now we just have to rearrange these numbers to fit a different order, right? Because we can add in any order. Now what I want you to do is show me the other way we can add these 2 numbers to make 5. Do that all on your own, and then we'll check back in just a second. All right, did you give it a shot? Okay, if you didn't, if you're still working on it, hit that pause button. Also, the space bar works if you're using a Chromebook. All right, so if 2 was first and 3 was second, right? All we're going to do is switch the order. We're going to make 3 go first, and then 2 will go second. We're just crisscrossing them. That's all we're doing. And if we already know that 2 plus 3 equals 5, what is 3 plus 2? That's also going to equal 5. So if we had another quick number line right here, right? Check this out. Okay, start at 3 because that's our first number this time, right? And then we're going to make 2 jumps because that's our second number. The second number tells us how many jumps. So we just go 1, 2, and we still get 5 as our answer. So if you know that your first answer is correct, okay, after you switch the numbers around, they will come out to the same total. I promise. If they don't, you need to really check to see where you might have made a mistake. Okay, it never hurts to double check your work. All right, guys. So for my class, I want you to go ahead and try numbers 4 all the way through 10. Now, for numbers 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, they give you the first two numbers that you're going to be using, right? But for 9 and 10, they give you 3 what appear to be random numbers. But one of them must be the answer, okay? Here's the little hints. The 2 smaller numbers go around the plus sign. There's a little hints. All right? But make sure that you write it 2 different ways. And that's all. If you want, I can just kind of set up the first one for you. Okay, what is the biggest number here? 3, 8, or 5? Point to it. Point to it right now. It's 8. 8 is the biggest. So that must be the total if we're adding. Now, if we were subtracting, it would go first. But we're adding. We have a plus sign right here. So the big total number must go at the end. And now, what do you have left? Now you just have 3 and 5 left. Okay? I got you guys started with that one. I want you to try it on your own. If you're not in my class, and you're watching this, make sure you talk to your teacher to see what he or she would like you to do next. Maybe they want you to do the independent work. Maybe they have something different planned out. Make sure you check in with your teacher. But that's the video, guys. I hope that it helped. I hope that you understand what we're doing. And that, remember, we can, as long as there's a plus sign, you can put the 2 smaller numbers in any order to add. All right? If you have questions, make sure you ask me. Just make sure you're polite, raise your hand, be kind, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day.